Hello everyone, and welcome to the Atmosphere Wellness Program. Today we're going to be talking about foods that you should be eating. And on any wellness program, of course, we're eliminating foods that are not so good for you and trying to encourage you to eat foods that are good for you. But one of the things that I really find helpful is focusing not on what you're not eating, but instead focusing your energy on what you do need to be eating, because food is full of nutrition and food can actually be the medicine that heals your body if you're eating the right kinds of food. And so a lot of times when people do these kind of health programs, they feel really deprived because they're avoiding sugar and we're avoiding dairy. But actually, if you take your mind and you focus it on eating healthy green vegetables and getting a lot of omega-3 oils, it gives your brain, a positive thing to focus on, and you can spend your time in this program, really thinking about what you do want to be doing and not feeling deprived of the things that you're not eating. So when it comes to eating for a healthy gut, it's really, really important to eat with diversity. I see so many programs on the internet where nutritionists give people these meal plans, and it's sort of the same meal plan day after day, week after week, and that kind of diet is actually really detrimental for your gut. Your gut is full of a whole forest of microorganisms, and each of those microorganisms is going to need different foods to help it thrive. And so the key to helping your gut really flourish is consuming a wide variety of different types of foods, especially vegetables. You want to be eating at least 30 different types of vegetables every single week. And so one thing that I like doing is actually every week just sort of writing down each vegetable, making a checklist and seeing if I make it to 30 every single week. It's so important to make sure you're really getting a wide range of vegetables, and you'll find that when you do this, you actually start to feel so much better. So I'm going to focus on 6 different categories of foods that we really want you to focus on eating as much as you can. And the first one is fruits and fermented foods. Now, a lot of time fruit gets a bad reputation because it's very sweet and has sugar in it. But actually, the sugar in fruit is blended with a lot of herbs and is full of beneficial fiber for your gut. And so there is no reason for you to be avoiding fruit. Fruit like apples and pears and oranges have so many health benefits, and it's really important to be eating them. One category of fruits that definitely stands out above the rest is berries. Berries are full of antioxidants and they have tons and tons of fiber in them. And so now that it's much easier to be getting things like blueberries and raspberries in India, it's so important to find ways to incorporate those into your diet, whether through a frozen supply of berries that you could blend into a smoothie, or even fresh berries that you can just snack on or have as a part of your meal. Fermented foods are full of probiotics and they're pre-digested, and so they're a very, very important thing that we all should be eating. In India, the main fermented food that most people eat is dahi, or yogurt, which is fermented milk. And as a part of this program, we're actually avoiding dairy. And so I want you to go out and find, different types of fermented foods. You have, so traditionally in India, the main kind of fermented food that people have been having are fermented pickles. And so I want you to go out and see if you can find, sort of homemade, naturally made fermented pickles that don't contain any preservatives, but that are actually properly fermented, the way your nani would have made them at home. Another source of fermented foods is kombucha, or water kefir. These are both things that we sell at Atmosphere, and these have a lot of beneficial antioxidants and probiotics in them. The next category that I really want you to focus on is greens and whole grains. So greens, your green leafy vegetables, everything from spinach to lettuce to bok choy. These are all really, if there is a superfood, if there exists a superfood, these would be it. Vegetables like kale are so packed with incredible nutrients, and they're also just full of a lot of gut healthy fiber. And like an entire half a kilo of green leafy vegetables contains only 100 calories. So these are foods that you can just eat in total abundance. They're going to make you feel full, but they're also, not going to add a lot of calories to your body. Again, when it comes to greens, you want to be looking for diversity. So looking at, getting whatever seasonal greens are in season at this time, finding what's available to you and eating as many different ones as possible. You have, mustard greens, we have batwa, we have so many different local greens that are available as well. Now, when it comes to whole grains, it's really important to not be depending on one single source of grain for all of your meals, which is why as a part of this program, we're really trying to cut down on grains. Most people tend to eat, either a lot of white rice or a lot of refined white flour. And both of these refined grains are devoid of fiber. So all of the fiber is removed from a white flour or white rice. And they're also just don't have a lot of vitamins and nutrients. And so as a part of this program, we're really challenging you to move away from grains into eating a lot more vegetables. However, we do also want you to start eating some whole grains because the fiber in these grains is so important for your gut and for your gut bacteria. And so one of the things we're going to challenge you to do in this program is to eat a different whole grain every day. This can be whole oats, it could be brown rice, it could be black rice, red rice, quinoa, millets. There's so many different grains. And so instead of eating rice every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, I really want to challenge you to start eating a variety of different grains. Now, grains can be a little bit heavy on the gut, and so we really want to encourage you to be eating more vegetables and less grains, but it's still okay to have some grains with your meal once a day. The next category that's so important is your omega-3 fatty acids. This is something that every doctor, every researcher across the world would agree that it's really important to be getting a lot of omega-3s, especially because we end up consuming a lot of oils and a lot of omega-6s. And you want to make sure, sort of the key ratio that determines your health is the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. And so there are 3 seeds that are great sources of omega-3. And these are flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds. And so it's really important to find a way to get these into your daily diet. Flax seeds, either by grinding it into a powder, sprinkling it, or blending it into a smoothie, sprinkling it over your food. You can grind chia seeds or flax seeds and cook them into a dal or, a cooked food as well. Whatever you do, just make sure you get them into your diet. They're also a great form of fiber. But it's really important to make sure that you're getting omega-3s every day. Another great source of omega-3s is walnuts. So that's another thing you can try incorporating. The next food group that I think is very easy for most of us to end up consuming is onions and garlic. These are sort of the staple base of Indian cuisine. And I just wanted to mention them right now because the very interesting thing about onions and garlic is they actually help rebalance our gut bacterial. They actually help kill off bad bacteria and they encourage good bacteria to grow. And so while it's really important to be eating onions and garlic that's cooked, it's also a good idea to have some raw as well. Our next food group is our proteins. In this program, we really want to focus kind of more on plant protein, so getting your protein from beans and legumes. And we'll have a video later on where we talk about how to properly prepare beans and legumes. It's very important that we cook them properly, but these are an amazing source of protein and they're just full of beneficial fibers for your gut. We're not eliminating animal protein, but we do want to keep it to a minimum. So not more than once a day. Eggs are a great source of animal protein, chicken breast. There are a lot of different options. The key is not to rely on it too heavily. You want to be making sure, that you're either getting, a lot of plant protein or you're getting both plant protein and animal protein in your diet. The last food category that is one of my favorites is your cruciferous vegetables. These are vegetables like kale, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, rutabaga, and turnips. And these vegetables are an incredible powerhouse of health. They have some really important fibers in them that are so good for your gut. but they also have anti-cancerous properties. They're great for pretty much every system in your body. And so it's really, really important to make sure that you're giving this family of vegetables special attention. I think what's been interesting in the last couple of years is we've seen so many different types of cauliflower recipes. You know, you have cauliflower rice, you can make a pizza crust out of cauliflower, you can steam a cauliflower and turn it into a cheese or a hummus. And this has all really excited me because I've known, you know, how important these cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower are for your health. So as you go into this program and as you're going through this, really try to incorporate as many of these foods as possible. And I can't reiterate how important it is to really be, you know, making sure that you're eating the farmer's market. You want to be eating as many different types of vegetables every week as you possibly can.